Here's a psychology fact you're not ready for. Most men don't misunderstand women because women are complicated. They misunderstand women because their own mind is lying to them. From a Jungian psychology perspective, what you think women want, how you think they feel, and how you believe they bond is often filtered through your own unconscious projections, not reality. And that one mistake quietly destroys attraction, trust, and emotional connection without you even realizing it. Psychologists call this projection, and Carl Jung warned about it more than a century ago. Once you understand this, you'll start to see why so many relationships fail even when both people genuinely care. Your relationships, your confidence around women, even your emotional reactions are shaped by unconscious patterns you were never taught to question. And the uncomfortable part is this: most men believe they are seeing women clearly, when in reality, they are seeing their own fears, needs, and expectations reflected back at them. But here's where it gets even worse. Most people stop at surface-level advice about communication or effort, and that's the biggest mistake. Because the real issue is not what you say or do, it's the psychological role you unconsciously assign to women in your mind. Jung called this the anima, the inner feminine image inside every man. And if your anima is immature, wounded, or unrealistic, no real woman will ever feel enough for you, no matter how good she is. Here's the dark truth most people don't want to hear. Psychology shows that men often don't fall in love with women, they fall in love with how women make them feel about themselves. When a woman reflects confidence, validation, peace, or excitement, the attachment deepens. When she stops providing that emotional mirror, interest fades. This isn't cruelty, it's unconscious dependency. And when that dependency is threatened, it shows up as control, withdrawal, insecurity, or sudden emotional distance. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. The moment a woman stops feeding a man's inner emotional hunger, he assumes something is wrong with her, instead of recognizing the emptiness inside himself. Jung believed this is why men swing between idealizing women and resenting them. First she is perfection, then she becomes too emotional, too distant, or too much. The woman didn't change. The projection collapsed. This happens because the unconscious mind hates uncertainty. Your brain wants emotional safety, not truth. It assigns women the role of emotional regulator, comfort provider, or meaning giver because that feels easier than confronting your own inner chaos. Your mind tells you, if she stays the same, I'll be okay. But reality doesn't work that way. No person can carry the weight of someone else's emotional stability forever. If that hit you, good. It means you needed it. Because here's the truth you've been avoiding. Women don't pull away because they're cold or confusing. They pull away when they feel reduced to a function instead of seen as a human being. When a man unconsciously expects a woman to heal him, motivate him, or complete him, she eventually feels drained, not loved. And what men call losing attraction is often a woman quietly reclaiming her emotional energy. Jung explained that mature relationships only happen after individuation, the process of becoming psychologically whole. Until then, relationships are not partnerships, they are negotiations between unmet needs. This is why some men feel powerful when women chase them, and empty when women settle into emotional security. The chase feeds the ego. Stability demands inner work. But here's the next part that explains why your life hasn't changed yet. Most men try to fix relationship problems externally. New behavior, new rules, new strategies. But psychology is clear. You cannot fix unconscious patterns with conscious effort alone. If your anima remains unconscious, you will repeat the same dynamic with different faces. This is where Jung gets brutally honest. He said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. In simple terms, you will keep saying women are like this instead of asking, why do I keep choosing this pattern? The mind prefers blame over responsibility because responsibility forces growth. Here's the wake-up slap most people ignore. If every meaningful relationship in your life follows the same emotional script, you are not unlucky, you are predictable. And predictability at the unconscious level is the opposite of freedom. So what's the solution? Not manipulation, not emotional detachment, not pretending you don't care. The real psychological shift is this. Stop asking what women want from you and start asking what you unconsciously want from women. Are you seeking validation, escape, emotional regulation, or identity? Because the moment you stop outsourcing those needs, relationships stop feeling like power struggles and start feeling like choice. Asterisk, here's the mental shift that actually works. Build emotional self-sufficiency before emotional intimacy. When your sense of meaning, confidence, and direction does not depend on being chosen, approved, or admired, women feel it instantly. Not because you are trying harder, but because you are no longer demanding anything silently. Presence replaces pressure. Asterisk, Jung believed that when a man integrates his anima, women stop feeling mysterious and start feeling human. And when women are allowed to be human instead of symbols, relationships stop being exhausting. This isn't about becoming colder. It's about becoming whole. Asterisk, I wish someone told me this earlier, because understanding women doesn't start with them. It starts with confronting the parts of yourself you were taught to avoid. And once you do, everything changes, not because women behave differently, but because you finally see clearly